All right, you learned about the formula for circumference of a circle yesterday. If you didn't watch that video, please go back and do so, otherwise it's not going to make any sense. I'm just going to show you real quick how to solve some of them. So let's just recap real fast. So remember, when you're finding the circumference, the whole reason this whole idea of pi came up, which you've heard about before but never really knew where it came from, it's because that is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter for all circles, right? They all come out to be right around this pi if we can measure it exactly. So the ratio is called pi, pi like that, or you can use the symbol that you've seen before. And we approximate that because since pi goes on and on and on, no pattern, no way to stop it, goes on forever and ever, we just round it to the nearest hundredth and use 3.14. You might also see it used as a fraction with 22/7, but we're going to stick with the decimal, the 3.14. And that's what we can use as our pi to find the formula for our circumference. I want to give you a quick reminder of that. So when we say circumference, it's really just the perimeter of a circle, right? So it is still perimeter, but because it's a round versus straight lines like some of our other shapes, that's why we call it circumference, to differentiate that, okay? And then here were the formulas that were discussed in that video from yesterday. Now you can write this in whatever order you want because it's all multiplication. So you might see it as 2 pi r. That's sometimes how we see it. But it really doesn't matter because it's all being multiplied together. So it really doesn't matter what order, right? That commutative property allows us to put in whatever order we want. And just a reminder that that r means radius, which is just halfway across from the center to the edge, whereas diameter is all the way across, okay? Now when we're doing these problems, you can use calculators for them because there are going to be some difficult numbers and we don't need to waste time writing it all out. We just want to know that we can use the formula. I'm not assessing whether you can do the multiplication part. We've done that before. But you must show the steps. So when I'm showing you these next two problems, your work should look the same. You're just doing the multiplying in the calculator like we've talked about before. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this next one. Okay, and you can follow right along. Give me 1 second. It's going a little slow. There we go. So we have an irrigation sprinkler waters a circular region, right? So it kind of goes around. So it's like in the center here, and it goes around, starting here and spraying around, with a radius of 14 feet. So we want to be able to find the circumference of the region watered by that sprinkler, okay? And we're going to use 3.14 for this one. So because we are given the radius, we're going to have to use that formula C equals 2 pi r. Again, if you put it in a different order, not a big deal. I just like this. This is what I'm used to hearing. So the 2 stays the same. The only difference for pi, and I want to make sure this is very clear to you, pi is not a variable. That is the symbol that we use to represent pi. So yes, I understand we're not going to have pi there. We are going to be putting a number there, but it's not like a variable. That's just the number that is represented with that particular symbol, okay? So we're going to write it as C equals 2 times 3.14, because that's what we're using for pi. And then the radius is right here given to us because it's only halfway across there. That's why we're using the radius one and not the diameter one. And so now just take a moment in your calculator, if you happen to have one, or you want to use your phone or whatever you have handy, go ahead and multiply those three together. And when you do, you should end up, and if you need a pause because you want to try it on your own first, that's fine. But you should end up with 87.92. Okay, and because this is just the perimeter, aka circumference, we're just going to say feet. There's no need for feet squared or anything like that. It's just measuring around the circle. Okay, let's try one more. So we've got, they just want us to find the circumference of the circle. Oh, it says round your answer to the nearest hundredth, but I know we don't need to do that on this one because we've already done that by using our pi. So just ignore that. But this time we have the diameter. So this time we're going to use C equals pi d, or pi times diameter. Okay, so we don't need to deal with the 2, but we're still going to use 3.14 for pi, and then we're going to use our diameter right here. And so we're going to have C equals 3.14 times 11. Go ahead and do that in your calculator. If you want to pause to try it on your own first, you can. But I ended up with C equals 34.54. And again, we're just measuring around, so we just end up with centimeters as our label. Okay, you have a few practice problems to do. Again, make sure you share your document with me after you've finished. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Good luck. You can do it.